Hello, welcome to this tutorial, and we will discuss the TEventList and TEntryList in this tutorial. Okay, so in order to let you understand what situation we will need to use these two, so we will use a very simple example here. Again, in this example, I will use the simple.root this file here. So let me open it. Okay, I just copy and paste. Alright, so let's see what happened inside. Sorry, I need to use. So we have a tree here, just reminding you what happened here by print. So actually, this is a tree with 3 branches. One branch is money as y here. So you can use the draw or scan method uh, to grow the variable money with some condition like you set up for less than 200 2500. Okay, so this just a reminding what happened is you give you here the selection here. So if you don't put a selection, you will draw all of them. That's the from from 12,000 to 0. Okay, so the situation is every time you involve in a draw or scan, you put a condition, it will kind of source every time when you hit the command draw and scan here. So sometimes you will encounter the situation when the selection is really complicated and it takes a long time to finish that sorting. So for the maybe 10 minutes for each drawing or 10 minutes for each scan. So it's really annoying, and it's quite often that if you have a huge data and you want to store it. So in order to let the pen as little as possible, we can have some option like event list or event list or entry list that store the sorted data, so that we just need to create once the this object here, then we don't need to sort every time we use the draw or scan or whatever. And another scenario is that we create the selection, and our uh, analysis is not just as simple as draw or scan. We want to extract the data within the selection. So in that case, it's also very convenient to use the way that the event list or event entry list the object to provide. Okay, all right. So I think you probably understand why we want or these two classes are desirable, because they provide a way to saving the time, and they behave very similarly. So let's just start from the event list, this object T event list here. Okay, so first we want to learn how to create the T event list here. The way is simple. Okay, so you use draw option here, you see, but you don't create anything, but you just put in the condition, and you don't put any variable, uh, but you put a redirect to something here. So the redirect is called my event. It will be automatically a T event list object here. Alright, so let me demonstrate what happened here. So you use draw, and you put the money first, the money less than 2500. That just means you draw the money variable, within this condition here. Alright, and now we want to redirect this selection to an event list. We just use the redirect operator and just type in the name we want. Let's say my event. Okay. Right, we hit enter. Now it's down here because it's pretty short around. So you check it. It will be a class from TEventList here. Actually, this is a pointer here. So you successfully create. Remember, it's a little bit tricky because you want to create a TEventList object. You use draw method to create it. Okay, all right. Uh, For create the TEntryList object, you have to put some option later here, but it's very similar. We will talk about that later. If you want to really know it, it's just like this. TEntryList option here. Then this object will create the TEventList object pointer. Okay. Now go back here. Since we already create this object, we can use the method I just linked here to retrieve what we want. So we declare a pointer point to a TEventList, and this name is my event. Because here is just stored in the memory, so we want to more explicitly to to re to receive that the class pointer into the variable we declare. Alright, it's not necessary, but it's a good practice. Alright, so we done here. So far it's very simple. We just invoke this command and we get an event list here. Now we want the tree all only reflect what we already set out to this condition. It's very simple. We can use set event list. Then the tree will only reflect the data within the event list that we just put in. So in this cases, the event list I create is my event list. Okay, event, right? Good. So now there is something very different. So let's say if we use draw command, we don't put any selection. Then you see it's quite different from the previous one. Here we just use this because we already set event list. That means it's already selected, the data already selected here. Also, you can use scan method. This is more clear. You see, there is no um, variable of money that have value bigger than 250, right? We can see more. You see 250. No. All right, that's pretty clear that we already got into right direction. So now, next one is tell you the skill for looping because it's very important to when you want to retrieve the data within a selection. So in order that you to understand how it works, I will use this for loop first. So this for loop actually just is a 10 times for loop 10 runs, and each time you will invoke the my event to with the method get entries. The get entry method is different from the get entries method with the sender in the tree class. The get entry here in the tree will return for example, you get entry 10, you will return the entry with index 10 and it link to a variable with that one. But here, TEventList get entry will just return the index of the the in, index of the good event there. That good event it means within the original tree. So I know this is a little bit complicated, so let's demonstrate it for you directly. So the first one is just I here, and then the second column here is the get and from the return value of the get entry. So here you see some discrepancy from the here. Okay, so it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, but not 4, 5, not 6, but 9. That's because the original 6, the money is bigger than the condition. It's not satisfy our condition. So not 7, 8, but the 9 is a good event here. So actually my event or my sorry the T event list object was just return a good event index here. That says you see when you use the T to scan the money here, you notice that the the index is not continuous. I mean, it's a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but no 6, but it's start from the 9. Number 9 here is identical to the index from here. From when you use the method from the get entry in the TEventList class here. So the behavior will be a little bit different. So the technique to use it is when you do a looping is just first to know where's the good index is. Then only retrieve the good index of that um, root file or tree file here. Okay, so we will talk about more in detail in just a minute. So then let's see the looping skill here. So the first one we need to know how many runs is a good runs or a good index here in the my event list. So you can use a get and that means tell me the total runs in my event here. This is from the T event list here. So here is quite simple to understand. Alright. So next thing is kind of routine here is link is declare a variable. This variable just called money here, and we want to link with the tree data, the branch variable with my variable I just declare here. This is a branch name, and this is a variable name, and we want to use address because this is a float data type, it's not array. So we want to use this variable, sorry, this operator here, and we invoke the set branch address as we discussed many times in the previous tutorial here. So this guy here, this one here, just tell you I link the variable with my variable money here and branch the data within the branch called money here. Okay. Then we create the index and the good index good here. This store for the index that's within the selection here, and I use the data type long 64 here is in cases the run is really long. Um, Sometimes it did happen here, so I will use the long 64 here. Alright, so let's just copy this too and paste it. Alright, very good. So then this is a for loop. It's just 10 round. So if you want to use a whole round or a full round, you can use I less than endless here or my event get end here. Now is for demonstration. I don't want to put thousands of lines there, so I just want you should see the first 10 here. So I would use the good index is from my event that get entries. This would just tell you this part here is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but no 6, pass down from 9, 10, 11, 12 here. Then I return whatever I have from the good index here. So once I call this method here, my money would just get some data from the branch here. So it would go this way, root direction. Okay. So let's just print out what I have in the money. The variable I declare here, right? So very straightforward. So let's just copy and paste it. All right. So this money is just as the money you see in the scan here. Identical one. So it's not really interesting. We can show you. I can show you by the scan. All right. So this is just exact number here. Okay. But this is read out in a tree. But this is the variable we just declare here. So actually you can do any manipulation you want, like times 100 or square or um, you can do whatever you want. Okay, so you got an idea, or you can save to the file to another place, just in case you want to do any other operation. So very simple. Let's review a little bit. So first, we use draw method to redirect the data within our selection to by events. This is an object from TEventList object. Sorry, the class here. TEventList class here. Then we set up the tree within the event list here. Then we do any operation here uh, with just within the selection. But if you want to use looping, looping would be a little bit um, involves another step here. First, you need to know where's the total good runs in my event, and only extract the good run within the index that will correspond to the good runs. Okay, by by the method get entry from the TEventList class. Alright. So far you get the idea. So now we want to reset. So we want to reset the selection. You can use set event list, exactly the same one as here, but set is 0. This means we don't want anything inside there. Okay, so now you do the same thing here, the same scan here. You see the number 6 here. This is not a good one because our criterion is 2050. Root 1500 is bigger than that, so this 3 would not be there if we set in. You see, this is the same command we use, but one is within a selection, one is not within a selection. It's very interesting. Okay, so now we will go to the very similar thing called entry list here. All right, entry list and event list are really similar. The only different thing, according to the user guide, is that the entry list would have the considerably less memory for storage. That means if you want to save the space or some make your how can I say operation that's time consuming, maybe it's a good idea to use the entry list here, and it works almost similar. All right. So first you create the entry list object by draw method here, but be careful, you need to specify the option. You need to specify entry list option in the end. Use the draw method to redirect here. So let's do it here. Just copy and paste. Alright. So here just redirect to the entry list called my entrance, and the selection is here, and I specify the redirect will create my entrance list object here, and the name is my entrance here. Okay, good. All right. So this is to retrieve the data from the memory. It's not always necessary, but here's a good practice. So just do this. Now that part is set up the selection by set entry list this time. Previously we set event list for the event list object, but for for entry list object you use the set entry list method here. So just, I think you understand. So now you're supposed to see the same thing. Okay, so let's by one. So here we are. Alright, so the same thing, the same graph here, because we use the same selection, is less than 2500 here. Very good. Okay, then we use the scan. Alright, you see from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but no 6, 7, 8. Okay, very good. Exactly the same one here we see before. So again, this is the get entry will just return a good index. Sorry, the index for the good ROM. Previously we use my event. Now you use my entries. That's almost the same thing. It's really dumb here. Okay, so then you see what happened. All right, the same thing here. This one here will correspond to this one here. Okay, so looping is almost identical here. So the first one, the total good run is from the get n here, but I don't want to use the 0,000 line, so I use just 10. So first thing is I use the get entries I here to get a good index here. Okay. Uh, it's a little bit tricky here because here's my event. You use a get entrance. Alright? It's an event, but it's an entrance here. Again, this is my entrance. You still use get entrance here. So sometimes the naming is a little bit confusing, but you need to get used to it. So this is a good index here. So you use the get entry to get that good event by using the index good, this variable here. All right. So this part is really similar. You just change the my entrance to my event. There is no very exciting thing here. Alright. Alright, I think you see this before. Okay. So a little bit different is the nest method in the my entry here. This one will be much faster than get entry here. Yeah, that is this line here, because the last one is would be just create a much faster way. So maybe it's good for you if you have a lot of mode wrong. You can save a lot of time here. So the way is that you set up where your start point the from the beginning here. So let's say we want to start from index 0. Suppose we know index 0 is a good run here. Um, sorry. Sorry, we don't need to know index 0 is good wrong, because 0 is here, this term here. So that says I want to start from whatever the gurung is within with the gurung with the gurung is here and this is index here. Okay, sorry, I know that there is a little bit confusing here. So that's if I put in uh 6 actually and could in my entry get entry 6, it will return 9 here. Okay, great, index will be 9. So I would like to the first one I would like to put 0, and because the first is good wrong, so if I put a 0 here, the good index would be 0 here, and I put it 6, it will return to the 6 here, 9 here. So I want to start from very beginning, so I start from the 0 here. Alright. Okay. So then I would invoke just directly because I already know that which one is a good wrong. I just get entry directly. So then I would just use the good index again, but I don't use the get entry. I use a nest. So let me demonstrate what happened here. So good index. So now index good will be just 0. So again, if we put 6, we put 9 here. Okay, so if we could, we use the my index good equal to my entry nest. Alright, so we already said that it's 9, right? The next one would be 10 because 9 and 10 here. But if we start from let's say 5, okay, and we now it's 5, but we use nest. We start with, let's see, is 9 here. So this method is actually tell you go to another entry good wrong here. All right. So it's just a different logic, but it work in the same way and a little bit. I think it's faster here. I don't know how fast it would improve, but it's they say it will be faster. Okay. So actually, let's copy it. So we start from the very beginning and goes to the 10 good rounds here. So let's see. Okay. Uh, so this is a good run here because we already set up to 9 here. If we want to set a beginning, you should copy this line as well. Alright. This is a very familiar number, isn't it? Alright, so I think the last part is just a save to the file. I think that's really simple. So I think I will stop here. I hope you enjoy this tutorial and learn how to use the event list and entry list. Okay, and let me just summarize what we learned. You use the draw command to redirect to either event list or entry list. If you use entry list, it will be a little bit faster and save the memory. But you when you create that one, you to need to put the option entry list in the third field here. Then you use the set entry list or set event list to put in the selection rule selection here. And for the looping, you need to create a look like you have to create you have good index there to retrieve the number return from the get entry from my event or my entries object here. Then just retrieve a good index or good wrongs here. Alright, so I think that's all what I want to say. Thank you very much.